Welcome into the Cafe Nightly Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. It is the 25th of October, 2024. It is a Friday. It is the end of a week, and there's not a lot to it. So we're going to get through a quick show. We're going to say hopefully more next week, but we do have a couple things to review and go over. Sparklet weekend did start today. It does run through the weekend. We'll get through the details and reminder on dates. Infrastructure update. It continues to happen. That is something that we did have some notes on what to expect, and this is going to come back. And unfortunately, we're on day 2 or day 2.5 of that infrastructure update, which means we're continuing to see some effects from that, and that's primarily in leaderboards. And it's Friday. You know, we are 3/4 of the way through the season of Harvest in the game of Upland. We do have a snapshot coming up very shortly next week for completed tasks. And other than that, we will look forward to next week. I reflect back on when we get live updates or weekly updates every week. Upland and review, which I don't see we've got in the last couple of weeks, but we do get to look forward. So for tonight, let's get the disclaimer out of the way. All views and opinions expressed by myself, they're mine and mine alone. They shouldn't take as game strategy or financial advice that represent the game or the team of Upland. Any guest contributors who we do have on have their own views, their own opinions, and they're welcome to them. Shouldn't be taking as game strategy or financial advice that represent the game or the team of Upland. Represent myself, the Goldsmith, the Cafe Nightly Show. Easy enough. All right, let's take a look at a couple things. Tonight, we'll actually do it. We'll share the screen first instead of going halfway through the show and realizing we didn't hit the share button. Here it is. Ta-da. First and foremost, the infrastructure changes that we are currently working on that are underway. Take a look here at the live updates. We'll click on that. We'll take a little bit deeper look there. Are taking longer than originally expected. Due to this, leaderboards are not currently available and not currently updating correctly. We don't have an ETA or a fix for this at this time, but we're working on it as fast as we can. The problem with these leaderboards being down, when we do have them down during a contest, is if people are changing their activities during the contest for or because of the leaderboards, it makes it really hard to do so. If leaderboards exist to tell people what their status is in a contest so they can augment or change the way they are competing, or if it's a way of acting as a certain sense of challenge to get people to, contribute more or work a little harder or do things a little differently in the contest, then it is important that they're out there, they're relatively well updated. Unfortunately, we have a couple contests going on that could use a leaderboard for people to keep their eyes on, and unfortunately, there's a couple that don't have the leaderboards working correctly at this time. Again, this is something that Upland says they appreciate your patience during this issue, and be assured your actions are still being counted and accumulated. Of course, that's key. If you are taking part in one of these contests, you continue to do things, your actions, the things that are being done as part of those contests, they continue to get accumulated and calculated, and they continue to go towards your overall score. Just keep in mind, you can't have that feedback of the leaderboard to let you know how to proceed if there is any strategy should change in the contest that you're participating in. They're not currently showing up correctly on the leaderboard, but again, they are being accumulated and calculated appropriately. Let's take a look at live updates. Take a little more about this. Again, the original one of the live updates, heads up. We're working on infrastructure enhancements tonight. This was an announcement from 3 nights ago. Geez, I'm 3 nights ago now. So I guess we are moving into night 3. I said it was 2.5. It is 3 at this point. Again, with those updated infrastructure enhancements, as a result, the challenge leaderboards will not be updated for the next 12 to 24 hours. So it went from 12 to 24 hours and now into 3 days. We sometimes see this because the updates are not always as straightforward. If they go to push an update and there is an issue, there is something that doesn't work the way it's supposed to, sometimes you have to go back, have to try things a little different. Sometimes somebody has to go and put a little more effort into making things happen. And unfortunately, effort and accomplishing it or solving for issues sometimes takes some extra time along the way. Thank you again in advance for your patience is what I'll put out. But again, this is 2.5 days ago. we are much further into this event than we originally thought we're going to be in terms of waiting for Upland to get this back up. Then we get back here to Sparklet Weekends. Sparklet Weekends, here they are. Definitely something that we have had in the past. We know we had in the month of October in harvest season, we've had a couple updates to how these work. So couple quick things in these updates we'll take a look at. But ultimately, just a reminder, we are into another Sparklet Weekend. These weekends occur during or every weekend during a season, and that's what we're in. It's another Sparklet Weekend. This is the perfect time to level up your Upland status. There's some interesting points that are here with a boosted Sparklet bonus through Monday the 28th at 9 a.m. PT. So if you are leveling up or if you're ready to status up and you do so this weekend before the 28th at 9 a.m. PT, you're going to get a bonus on the Sparklet reward you normally get. If you level up at any other time, you maybe gain a bonus. Some levels carry a bonus, some don't, but you're going to get a bonus for leveling up. Well, at this time, you get an enhancement or you get a bonus on top of that bonus, a bonus on top of that reward for leveling up, which is making it the right time to level up. If it's something that you've been working on or you just barely get to status and you haven't hit the button yet, now's the time to do it. P.S. Don't forget, this is the key note here. MV Aviation 100 Sparrow will be available to executives and up to so take this opportunity level. Essentially, it's kind of saying if you want to get an airplane, you're going to have to be an executive, except what are you saying? I mean, are you saying the airplanes are coming soon? Are you saying there's going to be a sale shortly where individuals who are executive or higher can go into a queue and then have a sale or an opportunity of a sale to purchase the first MV? And again, MV Aviation, I'm going to put this lightly, or I'm going to put this in context. MV Aviation Sparrow 100s. There's already some out there in the market, but the first purchase, the first sale of them, is that what you're saying, Upland, here, or are you just speaking in general and in 9 months or 10 months we'll have that sale for MV Aviation Sparrows? Again, they're saying and reminding people about the executive status, which is something that's already been discussed. Executive status or higher do get planes in the game of Upland, but why bring it up now? Why bring it up like this? Are you being cryptic? Are you telling us it's right around the corner? We don't know what that means, but obviously, if you do want to have the opportunity moving forward to have some of the better features in the game of Upland, leveling up or getting to a certain level of status in the game is the key to unlocking at least aviation and potentially other things in the future. We had promises in the past about higher level players, higher status players having special metrics, special access to data. That never happened. But again, the airlines, the planes, as being private aviation, that is something that's new. That is something that actually does follow status. So keep your eyes out. That is something that Upland's hinting, or appears to be hinting, maybe just around the bend. So let's take a look at the details to remind us on what we're looking at for Sparklet Weekends. The sale of Sparklet's actually not defined to Sparklet Weekends as it used to be. Instead of being confined to the weekend, Sparklet is something that can be purchased in the store throughout the season. Generally speaking, that means that Upland's going to refresh that on about a weekly basis. We can have some of the bundles sell out, and then Upland's going to refresh it. When they refresh the Sparklet in the store, it's going to be refreshed. It's going to be available at a new USD. There you go. A new USD for a certain amount of Sparklet bundle basis. Theoretically, the $10, $20, $1,500 is that where we're at? $200 USD dollar purchase bundle price is something that we've already established. Upland's doing. We'll take a look at those bundles and see what's still available. But it's something that Upland's been doing for a few weeks now. The caveat is every time they do a bundle sale, the price might be a little different because they're looking at the last 2-week moving average for the cost of Sparklet or the price of Sparklet on the exchanges outside the game of Upland. being on the exchanges, we're going to see that be the definition for the price of Sparklet in the game of Upland moving forward. But the big notes here on Sparklet Weekend is it is your opportunity to status up and get a bonus above and beyond a reminder to buy Sparklet or having the ability to do so. Sparklet Weekends happen every Friday at 9 a.m. PT. They run through Monday at 9 a.m. PT is what to expect, and we're in the midst of one now. Now, what is the bonus for leveling up? Well, normally when you level up to Uplander from Visitor or from Visitor Uplander or Uplander to Pro, you don't get anything as far as Sparklet. But if you do it during a Sparklet weekend, you get 30 Sparklet for getting up to an Uplander status or leveling up to Uplander status, and 120 Sparklet when you level up from Uplander to Pro. That is a bonus that you don't get normally. Well, you do normally get a bonus, or you do normally get a Sparklet total from going from Pro to Director and Director to Executive and Executive to Chief Executive. That's in and codified, and that's there for a while. And now with the new levels from Chief Executive to Vice Chair, then from Vice Chair to Chair, those are all level ups. Those are all statuses that get you a little bit of a celebration for Sparklet when you do level up. But you do get a bonus at this time. That bonus is 20% additional, 20% bonus. So if you would get 500 Sparklet to leveling up to Director from Pro, you're now going to get 600. If you're going to get 1,000 Sparklet and you were going to be Director into Executive, level up from Director into Executive, now that's 1,200. Just 20% bonus. The same thing follows from Executive to Chief Executive, Chief Executive to Vice Chair to Chair. We are going to get that bonus during Sparklet weekends. That is the incentive. That is the reasoning to use Sparklet weekends to level up. Again, let's take a look. Let's see what's going on for pricing for Sparklet. You see the bundles that are in there. And know that we are on Friday. Friday headed into Saturday. Give ourselves a weekend to relax and recuperate and get ready for next week. And hope and pray that next week is going to be a beautiful week in Upland. And I think it might be. I mean, again, there is one thing that we're going into the weekend without resolution. Being that we're going into the weekend, it is unlikely that we're going to get resolution anytime soon, and that is for leaderboards. That is something that may get fixed over the weekend, but at the very least, Upland gave us a heads up that is something that we are going to carry in through, and we're still carrying. We haven't got an update that's been fixed, and as far as I'm concerned, if you get into a Saturday without things fixed, you have updates left to be updated, it likely means that it is a resolution that will not come over that weekend. But at the very least, let's take a look at the bundles. So bundles, like I said, we do have the 10 and the 20. Those are sold out. The $50 worth of Sparklet, $100, $200, and $300 worth of Sparklet bundles. We do know that these are refreshed. Right now, it looks like about a weekly basis. So middle of next week, expect to see a refresh on these. But there are still some of the 50, 100, 200, and 300 bundles, $300 bundles left. The 10s and the 20s, gone. Sold out. You had your chance. You missed it. But 50, 100, 200, 300 pricing, again, this is something that continues to float based on the pricing of the exchange pricing for Sparklet. The reality is Upland's been a little weird about how they priced it. I say weird about how they priced it because, it's not like you're getting a finite discount by getting a larger and larger bundle. We've seen the numbers just about create this little waveform, this sine form, where we're seeing that some are higher and some are lower as far as the price per a single Sparklet. But if we're looking at the $50, because that's what we're looking at, you're getting 890 Sparklet at $50 at 5.6 cents as a price per Sparklet. It was under 5.5 cents if you had bought the $10 bundle. Go figure. It looks a little weird, but ultimately that puts us in that 5.5, 5.7 range for Sparklet. That's a price we've seen pretty consistently the last couple of weeks. If the price of Sparklet considerably or significantly changes outside of Upland in the changes, we'll see the prices in the game change as well. That means that if the price of Sparklet is low, it is an opportunity to buy more Sparklet for the same value. If the price goes up, you're going to have the opportunity to continue to buy Sparklet. You're just going to get less back for the same price or for a similar price. Not a big deal there, but it is a reality we will watch moving forward. But for tonight, I don't have much else. It is a Friday. I've got things to do, and I hope you do as well. Have a great weekend. As always, Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT, we do get together to look at the daily's announcements and the news in the game of Upland. We do get together here on YouTube, on Twitter, on Discord, or Upland's Discord Cafe, and on the Plaza on Tuesdays and Fridays. Looking forward to seeing you all next week, and looking forward to seeing what Upland has new in store for us when we get there. Keep your eyes open. They're talking about leveling up for executive. That might mean plans are right around the corner. No guarantees, but definitely something to keep our eyes on. Thank you so much for being here. Looking forward to seeing you next week. If you're the Upland Discord Cafe, feel free to unmute your mics. The floor is yours.